Hey, if you're looking to create financial projections for a nursing home or an assisted living center, and you need to create projections for a potential investor or lender, then you've come to the right place, because we have created a financial projection template built specifically for nursing homes and assisted living centers and that sort of business model. And so I'm going to walk you through that template. I've linked to this template in the description of the video below. But first, my name is Adam Huxama. I'm the co-founder of Projection Hub. And over the last decade, we've helped thousands of entrepreneurs create financial projections for potential investors and lenders as they're trying to raise capital. So with that, I'm going to dive in to show you how to use this particular template. All right, so to start, we're on the At a Glance tab here. And this is, once you've filled out all the assumptions, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a 5-year profit and loss at a glance. You're going to see some different charts and graphs and use of funds, a break-even table, and some key ratios. And then you'll also get a 5-year income statement summary, 5-year cash flow statement summary, a 5-year balance sheet summary. And then you'll also get a income statement broken down by month for each of the 5 years, along with the cash flow, balance sheet for each of the months for all 5 years. So that's the deliverable at the end of the process. Let's dive back into how we get there, how we enter in these assumptions. So to start with here, let's say you're going to put in a personal investment of 200,000, invest in month 0, and you're going to have a building, some improvements that you're going to do to the building, furniture, equipment, some leisure activity equipment, linens, so some different fixed assets that you're going to add. And then let's say you're going to get a mortgage of 600,000 and an SBA loan of 400,000. Maybe this is your kind of operating loan. And that is going to help you get the funding you need to get this off the ground. Now on the input revenue tab, what you'll do here is you'll put in the category of room. So if it's a 1-person room or studio or 2-person room or intensive care, you can have your kind of different levels, right? That come with different price points. And you can put in, okay, how many of this category of room, how many 1-person rooms does your facility have? So we're saying, okay, this facility has 10 1-person rooms, 10 2-person rooms. And these categories you can change this to whatever you want to call it. So if you, low cost room, high cost room, with something like that, you want to break things down that way. And then what you'll do is you'll put an average price per month that the customer is going to pay, or that insurance will reimburse. So this is the dollar amount of revenue that you're getting. So this should be, if insurance is the payer, or if it's private pay, this is what you're getting paid for that room for the month. And then if you have labor costs, it's like a nurse or an aide, what we have the ability to do here is put in a labor cost per day for that type of room. So like intensive care, let's say you have a labor cost of $250 a day for that particular room type. And then you have the ability to add food costs per day per room as well, if there is food kind of built into this average price. So keep that in mind. We don't have a separate spot here where you'd add in food for the room. So if the other option you could do is like room and then room plus food plan. And so you could say, okay, if they get the food plan, it's $8,500 a month, and then they'd have this food cost per day. But if they just get the room and they don't have the food plan, well, they're going to have 0 food cost per day because they're not using the food plan, right? So you could do it that way. All right, so that will give you here you'll want to see 2 things: annual increase in rental rates, so you can enter in an annual increase in those rental rates for the rooms, and then the capacity filled. So what percentage capacity do you expect the rooms to be filled? And you can see we start at 50%, and then we ramp up, and then ultimately we're kind of at the steady state of 90% capacity because you'll have some turnover, right? And so that will then project your room revenue, rental revenue here. So next we'll jump into our variable expenses here, and you'll see we've got our labor cost or food cost here broken out, and you'll see our total cost of goods sold. Now, jumping over to our input other expenses tab here, you can enter in your operating expenses. So we've already added things like labor cost and food cost have already been added in, but we have things like overhead accounting services, billing department. Now, for example here, let's say the billing department charges you a percentage of your total revenue to do the billing with the insurance. Let's say they charge 5% of revenue to handle all the billing. So you can select here, this is a percentage of total revenue, and then put in 0.05 is equal to 5%. And then lastly here, we can look at our input salaries and owner draw tab. We can add in specific salary positions here. And again, this would be different than the labor cost that we added on the input revenue and cost of sales tab. So we did already put in labor costs here, but you don't want to double count that. So if you if you'd rather put in specific employees and the number of employees you think you'll have at your facility, you can do that. What I would recommend is then putting zeros in for all of these, and then coming over here and putting in, nurse 1, aide, nurse 2, aide 1, aide 2, and so on. And you can put what month they're going to start. You can actually put in the number of that particular employee as well, and then an annual raise as well. So once you do all that, you'll get back to your at a glance tab, and you'll be able to see your projected profit and loss, as well as a number of different graphs and charts. So hope that's helpful. Again, if you have any questions or you need help filling this out or customizing it, we're here to help and can happily do that for you. So reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. We'd be happy to help. Thanks.